Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, let me introduce myself. My name is Putri Vanya Azzahra and I'm from Biology Education 1B. Here, I want to explain about the poster that I created last week about green lifestyle. First, I will give the poster that I have created. Reduce, reuse, and recycle. Reduce means to minimize the amount of waste we create. Reuse refers to using items more than once. Recycle means putting a product to a new use instead of throwing it away. Rethink it about considering how our actions affect the environment. Recover refers to the practice of putting waste product to use. Why I choose reduce, reuse, recycle? Because I think the best way to describe green lifestyle is by recycling. We need to reduce the using of plastic material. We need to reuse something that can still be used. And we need to recycle so nothing can be useless and wasted. Waste management is one of the biggest problems in society today. On a daily basis, the world produces close to 4 million tons of waste. Many of these include waste that the world can easily harvest to recycle and make into a new product. And people around the world do this. Several governments require you to separate your garbage at home into wet waste and dry waste or into waste, which is recyclable and that which is not. The most common waste items include plastic, paper, metal cans, and glass. The levels of pollution have begun to rise rapidly. The use of plastic and other forms of non-degradable substance has only added to it. One way to combat this is to reduce the use of such objects, recycle and reuse them. Hence, the concept of reduce, reuse, recycle has become popular world over. Reuse is using an item more than once. This includes conventional reuse, where the item is used again for the same function, and new life reuse, where it is used for a new function. In contrast, recycling is the breaking down of the used item into raw materials, which are used to make new items. Reuse can have financial and environmental benefits, either of which can be the main motivation for it. The financial motivation historically did, and in the developing world still does, lead to very high level of reuse, but rising wage and consequent consumer demand for the convenience of disposable product made the reuse of low value items such as packaging uneconomic and richest countries, leading to the demise of many reuse schemes. Recycling is the reprocessing of material into a new products. Recycling generally prevents the waste of potentially useful materials, reduce the consumption of raw materials, and reduce energy usage, and hence greenhouse gas emission compared to virgin production. Recycling is a key concept of modern waste management and is the third component of the waste hierarchy. Recyclable material, also called recyclables, may originate from a wide range of sources including the home and industry. They include glass, paper, aluminum, asphalt, iron, textile, and plastics. Plastic is recycled according to its quality and type, but the basic process is to melt it and recreate another plastic item. To recycle paper, it is first cleaned of any ink or dirt using chemical, then made into a pulp, which is later made into a new, clean paper. Objects made of glass or metal follow recycling processes similar to that of plastic, with the difference being that they are first broken and only melt into new ones. When we take any scrap material that looks like it could go in the dustbin and create a whole new product or object out of it, it is called recycling. Recycling is an incredibly vital practice that we all must learn to follow. It is one of the three R's, where the other two are reducing and reusing. Reducing refers to try to reduce the amount of waste we produce. Reusing refers to when we reuse something the way it is instead of throwing it away. Recycling refers to when we take the material used to produce a good and reuse them to make another. There are the three practices that we must teach in our life whenever possible to promote sustainable development. We need not only depend on government regulation to begin recycling in our own homes. There are several ways in which we can practice recycle at home, and they are simpler than we may think. Plastic bottles are recyclable in many ways. You can make several lovely crafts out of them using your creativity and imagination. Glass bottles and jars are recyclable and reusable. Thus, if you finish a bottle of pickle or jam, you can easily reuse those bottles or jars for something else. Hence, you can use the concept of recycling even to let your imagination and creativity run wild. All public space and buildings such as office, school, college, each other all have dustbin, which consists of three types: general, plastic, and paper. There are to efficiently collect trash so that they can be recycled the way that should be. The recycled paper prevents deforestation by the millions. As since we are recycling paper, we need fewer trees cut down. Recycling raw materials also reduces the pressure on some corporations so that the production can decrease slightly, reducing carbon and greenhouse gas emissions. Hence, recycling is supremely vital for the environment and therefore for us humans too. That's all I can say. Hope it can be useful. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.